What's going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixie here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2. When we left off, we were investigating a place where, you know, bad things happen and stuff. Do you happen to have anything to say about this photograph? Can you look at this photograph? Gina, what do you make of this? That looks like a no.
What is that? Evidence? What's something matter? What happened, ever?
Oh, no, not exactly.
I ain't been long enough on the job to get all this deducting business yet. But I swear I'm gonna get the person what did this to the boss.
Okay. Now, they said to present this to someone, but it doesn't really look like Gina really knew much about it unless she's changed her mind, but nope, that's a whole lot of nothing. Okay, never mind.
What about the wig?
Do you like this hairdo?
Nope.
That's a nope, never mind. Just gonna
Because it
check
usually
to make
has
sure of
the
anything here.
picture put up when that happens.
Yeah. Policeman figure, that is also a key.
Nope.
Nothing important to you. Okay, great, perfect. Fine.
Well, she just said she's not good at the deduction stuff. So, she's not the one to ask about anything. We need to ask Sherlock about stuff.
Let's
but
see if there's
he's
anything around
run
here
off
that says
somewhere.
to go to. Go visit somewhere else. Go in his phase. They're around each other. The grand place seems to be clear. I don't know even this. No, I don't believe his place. Okay, so maybe we got to go back to. Guess I haven't been there, so that's usually a key of like, hey, go here. So let's go there. See what happens.
Oh, yep.
I'm not used to this kind of. Okay, this is gonna be dramatic. 1st of November. Let's go. You've made good time. You can know Strongheart. Can you?
Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. I had a sneaking suspicion, but like...
Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's...
Kazuma-sama!
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Time to get killed! No.
Ah, your timing is impeccable.
It is?
It is? No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry.
Fuck you.
Yes.
I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart.
That sounded like a believing line.
That Lord Van Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson.
I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zieks for his crime.
I told you this whole situation with Gregson getting got and Van Zieks being put in jail for it has his ugly face written all over it.
In some form or fashion, maybe. I don't know.
Cause, you know, Van Zieks helped us, you know, get rid of Sif.
Yeah.
And he's pissed about that.
Anyways, we must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective.
Oh no, surely not.
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable process. So does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions.
Introductions?
Kazuma? Are you gonna be the prosecution?
No.
Are you gonna be the prosecutor?
No.
But of course. You're already acquainted, aren't you?
No.
Mr. Sogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings. Leading the prosecution.
He did learn how to be a prosecutor.
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor? He looks terrifying.
Well, Okay. Did I
could not have seen that coming.
No. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all
over London.
Oh. Because I thought it was saying all of London. So I was closely followed by all. I just can't read. Okay. In fact, no. People all over the empire will be watching closely to see. Shut up. See how it unfolds. There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock. Quite so. The public wants answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
But Lord Van Zieks firmly denies any involvement in such matters.
And there have been thorough investigations.
I'm pretty sure you said something
innocent.
Of Ryu as Strongheart also. Which is why Strongheart said quite so. He wouldn't say that to himself.
I was thinking that, but it's fine. It's just a little Freudian slip.
No, you just need to pay attention to the name tag.
That's certainly true.
Yeah, see, he agrees.
It has been. At least until now. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. Let me guess, with forensics? Is that going to be what happens?
Prosecutor Asogi, that sounds wrong.
So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow? That's right.
But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it would mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
That's terrifying.
Absolutely. I've no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor.
But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It is a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial. You asked for this? But why? It will all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Although the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact.
You are quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as a judiciary closing ranks. So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution? Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed after practicing law in this land for so many months. Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend.
Oh boy.
The killer's gun? We just really talk about that? Yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zieks? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene. Well, the thing is...
Can you get your hand out of our face?
She wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know.
That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct! Shove it in his face!
Certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim.
No, Gregson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Van Zieks? That is currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's is no proof that it's actually his.
No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zieks.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Huh.
Oh boy.
Hey, so good. This armband I stole from you. It's nice, isn't it? Can I show you this, Lord Strongheart? No, show it to my friend. I guess that's a no. Especially that. Okay, I don't think I have anything else.
What about the hair?
He's not gonna care about the hair, I doubt. Yeah, no, he doesn't
Nope.
care about that. The only thing I think of is maybe showing the pistol again, but probably not.
Nope.
Yeah, because we literally just talked to him about it, so.
Snap.
I will assume that everything here is...
Dunzo.
Does he know anything about his special key?
Nope.
That key's gonna be important to something. I freaking know that. Every key's always important. Yeah, I don't really see anything else that would, What, do you care about the pistol notice thingy?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. I tried everything I could.
And snap.
So I believe, our work here is done.
Yeah, I
Is he gonna
guess so.
Well, I'm gonna examine actually. I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be all right now. Has your memory completely returned? Yes, completely. I remember everything,
Oh, this music.
including what I was coming here to do. Right,
Kazuma-sama.
it was you. What? Okay.
I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia?
It was the voice.
In your head?
This past year, I've been hearing it in my head
Oh,
constantly,
I was joking!
saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London.
I'm so sorry for what's happened. Surely you need some therapy or something.
Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Up. Oh.
Ooh, the fact that your voice for Edgeworth is now a prosecutor.
Yeah, irony. Oh, man. It doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our empire's history. Don't fuck this up for me. There's much you could learn from the public gallery.
Lose, in other words.
Well, he just said, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's what he just said to us. Leave this be. Stay out of it.
Everyone's saying stay out of it. Kazuma doesn't care,
No.
but everyone else is just like,
Sorry to
No.
have taken up so much of your time. We'll stay ourselves out.
Hold it!
oh,
Oh,
that was partner.
before you go, Rinosuke. What is it, Kazuma? I just wanted
A kiss.
to thank you.
Kazuma-sama, what?
You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection.
I don't know about perfection. He was a real mess at first. We always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you.
Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here.
Oh,
I actually have a favor to ask.
okay.
Which is? This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends.
Huh.
Right in front of me
Oh.
as the defense counsel.
Oh, you want us to be
what?
there.
What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Zieks would never put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? That's news to me.
Yeah.
It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes.
That's right. He spent a lot of time with him.
Here, have a look at this.
Look at him.
That's... Oh, it's...
That's Lord Van Zieks and Inspector Gregson.
And a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And who's the third person? That's well, look at the collars. Look at this jewel. I wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office. In Gregson's office, you mean? Yes. What I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. Okay.
Huh.
I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Just hurry, Renosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma?
Is he trying to take matters into his own hands?
Yes, he is. By saying he wants us to be there for the end of the trial, he's like, we're about to drop a bomb, dude. We're about to go kablooey on this bitch. Now get out of my fucking face. Get out of my face.
God. And Zieks!
Hey, buddy.
Look at his photograph!
That's exactly what we're gonna make him do. Zieks is still reading that letter. What could be so interesting in it?
We've been gone quite some time, though.
Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I may be able to read English faster than he can.
Or he's just trying to look busy.
I was intending to ignore you entirely.
That's pretty much.
But I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese. Sorry, I didn't think you'd hear that. I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time.
Ah. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business.
Yes, it is.
Have you found a lawyer? How many times have I read the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. In other words, no.
We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'd expect nothing less, though I'd have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Asogi.
Oh.
Asogi? Yeah, I made the color drain from his face. Not that he had much to begin with. Well then. Seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all.
And that got your attention.
Hey, you want to talk about it? 10 years ago, my older... It's
like, whoa!
10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi.
Yeah. Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
So what cruel twist of fate is this now 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court. I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve?
And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign his trial to somebody like that? Asogi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you Nipponese. Right, your hatred of all us Japanese.
The Nipponese bane.
I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer. The so-called professor.
That's for you.
Oh, the so-called professor. Ascending the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard. And that was Genshin Asogi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man.
Ooh.
So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing of a wrong.
Oh, how awful.
To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. He would not only have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented.
What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor?
The man in charge of the professor's case inquiry, Lord Mayor Strongheart. Wait, what? Where's Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead.
Huh.
Since that time, he's the only person to whom I've felt indebted.
I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor.
Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you?
Ah.
And of all things, as a lawyer. Hey, I feel your animosity for the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. I kept telling myself it wasn't illogical. But for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me, I could no longer control it. And I can understand why, now that I know the history.
Yeah, now that we know your character development.
But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma so gave him the bane of his. The Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow.
Did you not see him chop the wax figure in half, dude?
Stop by Inspector Gregson! Gregson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. But I'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yeah, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he?
I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean.
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Oh.
The Paris police welcoming an English detective is most inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. Sounds like that mystery is even the Reaper perplexed.
Which is interesting. I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, that discovery would never have been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my, 10 years ago?
Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time and rarely performed. My brother was of course a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful convictions and influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then.
And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
I don't have confidence in anyone.
Oh.
And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London. Well, about that, buddy,
About that, yeah.
What really went on between Lord Van Zieks and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of their relationship? Also, your gun quick. Can we talk about that? But the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Yes. It's not mine. Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is. What do you expect me to say to that? I don't know.
That it's
maybe.
not? Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm.
As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That? I don't know.
Oh.
I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. Must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps.
It's a gun. You have something in common with Lord Van Zieks after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things.
No. This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese.
You two need to just kiss already. The rift is very wide, isn't it?
Huge. So decisive evidence, clearly, but it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Well, buddy, you don't want to talk, but I have just the thing for you. Sir Van Zieks, we came by this old photograph. Where did you get that?
Back when you knew how to smile.
It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. Is the man on the left there?
Your brother?
Yes, that's my brother, Clint.
Thought so. He looks cool.
Obviously, it was Sherlock.
Oh God.
It had to be, really. Apparently, his picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that? Respect? That's nonsense. No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less.
Yeah.
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you. I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle.
He's alive in there somewhere.
The true nature of this man's known to all. This man's known to all as the Stone Cold Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. Naruhodo.
What?
That's the first time he's used my actual name.
He's never... What?
I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. What's that? Now what you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Zieks. From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it even though I dearly wished I could. Here was a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asogi. The man he idolizes and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
Yeah. Who is also Japanese.
When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me. You mean this photograph?
Are you reminded again?
Back then I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of distrust that plagued me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then I protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times the mire to which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Naruhodo.
It's so weird to hear him say in his voice, but it's kind of cool.
I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Hell yeah!
Of course I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands.
No pressure.
Lord Van Zieks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask.
Yeah.
Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma.
Never would have thought this would happen.
No.
It's like, guess what? You're gonna defend Lord Van Zieks, who's been accused of killing Gregson, and the prosecutor is partner. If someone told us that, I would've been like, nah, you're lying.
Yeah, it's
rough, to say the least.
It'll be interesting, that's for damn sure.
And then where's Sherlock in all this?
I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a multi-day court thing, so
Yeah.
but this first one's going to be a wild ride. And we're going to see what this first one holds for us next time.
Yeah.
So, to add on to the fact of Genshin Osogi not being the real professor is the fact of all the discussions talking about essentially how, in a way, noble he apparently was before he was accused of all that stuff. Or before he was tried as being, you know, the professor.
But they're like, oh, his true nature was murderous and whatnot.
Yeah, and that can help when it comes to character arc stuff, with story of it being like the redemption of being like, you know, look, you didn't have to distrust him or distrust anyone at all because it wasn't him. Instead, it was this other Japanese person that did it, maybe. But he wasn't your friend.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That seems too out of left field to be the truth.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Because your theories are either on the mark or they get set and leave.
I've been soft for a while. It's about time I'm right for once.
They're either on the mark or they get set and go.
Yeah.
Get it? On your mark, get set.
Yes.
Cool.